Good afternoon or morning, depending what part of the country you're in. Today is November 5th, 2015, and this is kind of a landmark for us. It's our 50th anniversary, our 50th conference call, mastermind call anniversary. I don't think we've been around for 50 years, but kind of accidentally to commemorate the occasion, I asked one of our, honestly, we've got a lot of clients, guys, who, we've got a dozen testimonials of people that, got 5 or 6 listings their first month, and people like Paul Hayhurst who got 5 their first month and never looked back and have done 20 deals over the last year. And then the opposite spectrum, we have too many people, in my opinion, that give it a month or two try and then give up. And that really frustrates us as owners of the company. And one of the reasons I wanted Bill to come on today, I think he is an example of someone who has absolutely done everything right with this program. Bill, you and I had our first conversation probably 10 months ago, and I still remember you telling me that this is really a niche that you wanted to make work, and you said, regardless of what results I get, right away, I'm going to stick with it, at least until the end of the year. And congratulations that you've done that. And so I won't tell your whole life story. I'm gonna turn it over to Bill Byrd. And Bill, would you just share with the group whatever you think is worth sharing and your experiences so far?
Sure. My name is Bill Byrd. I'm with Remax Gold in California. My areas that I work are San Francisco, Marin County, Sonoma, and sometimes Napa and Solano County. I've been in real estate for 30-plus years, but I've only been a full-time real estate for less than 4.5 years. I was completely flat broke, as a lot of us was, in 2010. Couldn't feed my kids. There was no... a lot of things had gone bad for me. And so I started completely from scratch, and I'm a real huge believer in income first, and I believe in getting as many direct deals as you can without spending any money. I'm a huge believer in for sale by owners, expired, notice of defaults, door knocking, Sunday open houses. I do like Zillow leads, but I don't believe in paying for them. I believe if your listings are marketed enough, the calls will come. And that's a very minimal cost. When I, prior to meeting or talking to Jim, I had talked to another agent, and they had told me about Jim. But prior to that, I was working probates for 2 full years, and I got 2 deals, and I spent tons of time on it. I spent probably 8 hours a week, 9 hours a week, trying to develop a system, and my biggest problem was always getting the leads. And what has happened to me since I've joined all the leads is this just didn't take off for me. Chad and I worked on letters. I started the mailers. I do 4 mailers. And I also call my leads right away. I'm a little different. When I first get my leads, we do the mailer, but I don't wait for the mailer to hit. I call them right away. And so for the first couple of months, I didn't get anything, but I kept refining it. And the thing that was truly amazing to me was, I would say 90% of the phone numbers and the names for the executor or the trustees are correct. 100% of the names have been correct for me on the attorneys. And it's been a very slow evolution. And my first 4 deals were all cash deals. They wanted to get out of properties, and I had cash investors. The 2 deals that I'm closing now went on the market, and one's closing now, and another one's going to close in December. And now I have 9 appointments between 11/8 to December 24th. And I get calls every day or conversations or follow-up conversations. And, they are very motivated. I mean, most of the people that call you have to sell or they want to sell. In California, most people divvy up everything in the state, the cash, the money, but then the taxes get paid at the very end and they have to sell. And a lot of times the probate attorneys get paid at the very end and it's coming out of the house, so they really want it to sell. And it's been just an incredible ride. My wife and I would say that out of all my spokes, this is probably going to become the most profitable spoke I have. And yes, I am paying for the leads, but I mean the quality is second to none. I mean absolutely second to none. Now the most beautiful thing about the probate leads is from the probate leads and working with the few attorneys I have worked, I'm now moving into divorces, and I have 2 divorces that have signed the listing agreements. They're going to be out of the house out of the holidays, and then we're going to do the prep on the house. And the attorney absolutely loves the fact that I can provide the mover, I can help them find another place to live, I can provide the painter, the handyman, the electrician, the plumber, the roofer, the photographer, the stager, everything to get that house on the market and get it sold as fast as I can for the highest price I can, and all he has to do is turn it over to me. Then from the divorces now, I've also had a couple of court-appointed deals where they were 2 owners that did not get along, so the court ordered the property to be sold, and I was appointed technically the referee appointed me to handle it. So probates has been an awesome venue to build a real solid spoke with really solid results, with long-term results, and it creates other options for you. The last thing I just want to say is all the leads or all the probate leads are like stocking a pond with bass. And every single month you keep putting more fish in that pond, and pretty soon every time you go ahead and drop a hook, you're snagging a bass every single time. And that's something that I really see happening. Currently we have almost 600 probate leads between all the leads and some other avenues that we pursue. And the attorney relations are the things that I'm really most excited for, because when I retire, this is a spoke that I can do with minimal effort. Currently, we spend 4 hours once a month getting the mailer going, and I spend probably 6 to 7 hours a week calling and following up on leads and executors. So it's an incredible spoke. I would definitely tell you that you need to tweak your letter for your area, though.
Yeah, you shared that. And, Bill, you had shared something with me. I get asked all the time, what kind of results, how long does it take? And it varies greatly by region. My own experience in Florida, 90% of the people I spoke to were pretty much ready to go right away. They were in a different part of the country. I think you shared with me that a significant portion of yours took multiple calls to them. You did a lot of lead follow-up before they were ready, correct?
Correct. I mean, you get the people, and California is mostly a trust state, so pretty much it has the power to sell, so you can file the death certificate and you can technically get on the market right away. But most people take some time. I mean, most people have a grieving time, or they're busy, or there's some family issues that need to be taken care of, or they're just not in a hurry.
Sure. We do have one question, and again, guys, thank you so much, Bill, for sharing. I really appreciate it. Like I said, this didn't, it took you a couple months to get your first deal, and now you've closed going on 6 and 9 more appointments. But that was pretty much an 8-month process, right?
Correct.
From beginning to end. And I think you also shared with me that a lot of the deals you have in November are ones that you've been cultivating and having those conversations for the last 3 or 4 months, and now they're finally ready to pull the trigger. I'm sure some of you have, if anybody has any questions for Bill, I'm going to leave you unmuted for the balance of the call. Thank you so much for sharing. And we do have one question in the queue. Do either of my partners want to add anything to what Bill said or ask Bill any questions?
Just want to, something Bill didn't talk about is his lead count each month. Like, because trusts are so common in his area, he actually has fewer leads than 80% of our subscribers, I would say. So you're doing what, 15 per county, Bill?
Yeah, about 15 to 20 per county, and then we have subscribers that are getting 200, 500 leads in some counties. So it's the point here is that you do build momentum. Like, and we see that people who look at this as a long-term campaign versus, well, this better be a 1-month magic bullet or I'm out. But people who stick with it, you get that cumulative effect, and you'll get listings from mail that has laid on a kitchen table for 6 months sometimes. So Bill's in a market with 20 leads a month, 15, 20 leads a month per county. So you could expect better results, and that's where, like, Tammy and Boise, they had, I think, 75 leads and came right out of the gate with 7 listings. So it's kind of a numbers game. But once that kind of snowball effect starts to kick in, especially for you guys in bigger markets, you could expect, quite a bit of business for this.
Excellent. Tim, anything you want to add?
No, I mean, the only thing I think that's an important thing for people to get out of what Bill said is that, this is, and Chad said the same thing, sometimes there's a silver bullet and it happens really quickly, and other times it doesn't, but once the momentum gets going and once the system is in place, however long that takes, this is an evergreen, because once it gets started, and you just have to kind of think about it this way, once you get initial success and you start popping a couple of leads every month or so, every month you're going through this, it's going to continue because, the old saying, death and taxes, I mean, people are going to continue to pass away, the leads are still going to be there, and we're going to continue to provide them. So it's one of those unique things that doesn't change, doesn't exhaust, the circumstances don't change, and if anything, you as the realtor in that market become more and more better known for being the probate specialist, and that's what we're building up your back end for with credibility and lots of other things to make sure that when people begin to think about probate in your marketplace, you're the person that they go to, and Bill's a great testimony to that. Over time, he's going to be the probate go-to person in his county and be well known for that because he's going to stick with it, and that's an important thing to remember.
Excellent.
And believe me, like, this will be the next big niche in real estate. So many people just don't see the opportunity, and I'm just finishing the course that we're calling Probate 101, and that's something we're going to give away to all you guys. That's more about the what of probate, like what is it, what's the opportunity, what are the statistics. We are entering the end-of-life period for baby boomers, and over the next 47 years, we're going to see as much as $136 trillion in wealth transfer. So there's going to be a bigger need than ever for agents who can really help these families guide them through the process. So this is the best thing most people have never heard of. And as Bill, for those of you that are getting it in place right now at the ground level, it's going to be hard to compete with you in your marketplace once you build that reputation. So literally, if you can stick with this and build it as a pillar in your business, it will feed you for the next 47 years if you're that young in the business. But you can work the rest of your career on this because this will continue to get stronger and stronger as those people. It's an exponential curve of the death rate and the inheritance rate. And it's kind of a dark conversation, but it's all how you look at it. And if you look at it with a servant's heart and say, how can I provide value to this situation? Because it's happening. But once you get it in place, like Bill, you know, you talked about retirement. I mean, that as you continue to build this thing, you know, it's just going to get stronger and stronger. There'll be more and more opportunity in everybody's market. So.
Excellent. Well, guys, thank you so much. We've got a full 10 minutes for questions. And Bill, again, I'm going to leave you unmuted. We do have one question in the queue. We'll start with them. And please, guys, don't be shy. Whether it's for Bill or Chad or Tim or myself, we've got probably a dozen people on the call that are prospective clients. There's no bad question. Please hit *6 and then hit 1. We got time for 4 or 5 questions, so hopefully some more will ask questions, or the person who's in there will ask a nice long one. I'm going to go ahead and activate our first question. Area code 281, you're up.
Hi, this is Vicki from Katy, Texas.
Hey,
we had actually 3 questions.
Great, thank you.
I've got a couple of my agents sitting here. We've been listening.
Vicki, I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing you. Are you on a speakerphone?
I am on a speaker. Can you hear me better now?
A little bit,
yeah.
Please, you have a soft voice. Speak up so we can hear you. Thank you.
Oh, I've never been accused of that.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, first of all, the first question was, Bill, how did you get appointed through a court?
So what I had done is I worked with an attorney on a probate sale, and the judge and the referee had remembered me, and they needed a neutral person, and they knew that I had handled everything. So that's how. The second way to do it is to go down to your probate county, and they're going to have a package you need to fill out. Or if they don't have a package, what you need is a resume, you need your E&O insurance, your liability insurance, a copy of your broker's license, a copy of your real estate license, a reference from an attorney, and that's the package they normally want.
Perfect. Okay, the second question was, did you design a separate website for probate to use, or do you use just your regular website?
No, we're just finishing that up. I am not very technological. Technology is not my thing. But I have a company. It's called North Bay Estate Solutions. I'm actually using All the Leads website, and we're just building all the content for it right now. And then eventually I'm going to link them all together. But I definitely recommend coming up with a separate brand other than Remax or something that stands out differently in people's names. And I would say the first 3 months I didn't do that, but the last 7 months has been much better response, and I think part of it is because the name has a solution for people. Mm-hmm. And most people do not know how to sell a home. And here they are with all the liability and responsibility to sell a home, and you're offering them a solution.
Right. Okay, then I also wanted to talk a question about the Probate 101. Am I correct in that when we complete a course, there's a designation for that?
You are correct, but it's not that course. So Probate 101 is really just, it's something new that we're going to roll out and give all you guys as part of your subscribership. What you're thinking about is Probate Mastery, and that's the 3 sessions. We cover systems, strategy systems, and sales. And at the end of that, you get a certified probate expert certification.
Yeah. And highly recommend that course, by the way.
Yeah, Bill and I did it together one-on-one whenever he first started. That was one of the first things he did. But now we also offer the one-on-one for $500. We also do monthly probate masteries, and they run the second, third, and last Tuesday of each month. So that'll be starting next Tuesday. We'll start the November course.
Okay.
And that's $250.
Okay.
And then the course that Chad referenced is we kind of saw the value that these add-on courses were giving people. And Chad really, it was really Chad's idea. He said everybody could use a little bit of extra education. Everything you need to be successful is included with your leads. And honestly, a vast majority of our clients just take them and run. But we've noticed the more successful ones do take the time to understand the process a little bit better. And I think that's
what the attorneys want to hear. They want you to know the difference between a probate that needs to be ratified in court, a probate that doesn't need to be ratified. And in California or some of the other states that have trusts, you need to understand that you're dealing with a trustee, not an executor.
So Chad, thank you, Bill. Just to clarify, the Probate 101 is going to be no charge for all of our existing subscribers. And how is that going to be delivered? Have you figured that out yet?
It'll be delivered in 3 separate emails. So it's broken into 3 modules or sessions.
Okay.
And it really focuses on exactly what Bill's talking about, the specifics of, what is probate, how is probate handled, what are the steps that an executor will go through, what are they responsible for in those steps. And then the second module kind of covers the opportunity, like looking at the statistics of it and what I was talking about, how this is this is the fastest growing niche in real estate, and how you can really provide value to fill that space, that niche. And then the last is, just kind of tying all that together and how to gather probate leads, market the probate leads. Not as nearly as deep as what we offer, in the subscriber resources area as far as how to market and the sales. But anyway, it's a good course that teaches what our other materials don't.
And then, Chad, the Probate Mastery, where you get the certification, you deliver that in a couple different formats also, correct?
2 different ways. We could do one-on-one, and everything is video recorded, so you can always reference back for training or for your own reference. And then we do monthly group training. Small groups, typically 6 to 10 people. We'll take that each month. And, again, you get video recordings of every single session, so, you can always refer back to it and use it to train your staff as they come on.
Is it the same price for the group or the one-on-one, or what's the difference?
No, one-on-one is $500. The group is $250.
Okay, perfect.
And each comes with the CPE certification.
Excellent.
And the thing I want to say about the fast start about it is it really gives you the why. I mean, Chad spends a lot of time making sure you're delivering value first to the attorney in the state so that you're different than your competition. Most people that I run into, this is a really live and true story, is I had a client call me up, found the house off Zillow. He got in the car with his checkbook. Him and his wife were stoked about this house, right? I'm thinking, woohoo, $1,125,000 or whatever it was. And we get to the house, they're excited. They want to extend the deck. Their contractor lives in the area. The contractor looks at the house, and then we start looking at things a little bit more closely. Like he put a brand new bathtub vanity and tile on the floor, but he didn't change the tile around the tub. In the master bedroom, the gentleman put the shower head way too low. He put nice hardwood floors in, but he didn't do anything in the closet. It was just this old, crappy old wood. I mean, I could go on and on about the things that didn't happen, and so by the time my clients left, they were not going to buy that house. The seller or the trustee came in to buy to water the plants, and so we had some time to talk, and I asked him how he chose his realtor. He picked the number 1 agent in his area, and I asked him, did anyone give any consultation, cost benefit of improvements to the house to make it sell for a higher price or sell faster? No, nobody helped him. He sold that house for $200,000 less than what should have been sold. It took 189 days. The average marketing time in my area was like 25 days to close.
Excellent.
So
and by
Chad
the way,
really spends a lot of time making sure that you provide that value first and everybody gets what you're there to do.
And by the way, you referenced the fast track videos for all of our existing clients. If you haven't done it, we talk about this on every call. As soon as you sign up, you get access to the resources area on our website. You go to subscriber resources and watch those 5-10-minute videos. Chad's done an amazing job of really compacting a ton of information into 5-10-minute segments. And we know you guys are busy, so we don't want you to sit down and do anything for an hour. But watch, between the time you order your leads and they come, everybody should watch those 5-10-minute videos. It'll answer 95% of the questions. That's where you start. Then you go to Probate 1-on-1, and then if you still want to learn more, you go to the Mastery course. And by the way, guys, we got time maybe for one more question. I really appreciate, we don't have anybody else in the queue, but please, someone else come on and ask a question. Our questioner who's in there, do you have any other questions you'd like to ask, or did we answer them all? Area code 281, you still there?
Yeah, we just wanted to confirm that when you get your leads, that there are phone numbers, because he said there was 90% were correct. But
right, that has been my experience. I mean, to be honest with you, I haven't had any phone numbers wrong, but I'm hesitant to say anything's 100%.
Well, and let me comment on that too. Let's talk. We talk about this most calls. The way these phone numbers are gathered, we get the data from the courthouse via our folks who collect the information. It comes back in. We do a little quality control checking on it to make sure everything looks okay, and then we take the information that we got and we run them through multiple different databases that we subscribe to augment them with the phone numbers. So the way that it works is the PR phone 1 is typically the one that we feel would be the most likely to reach out and touch the person who is the personal representative. But the other 4 phone numbers that can be listed there are also ones that reference that person in some way. They could be a relative, it could be a friend, it could be a business number. I mean, we don't know all the algorithms that the phone companies use to provide us with that data. Some of the data resources we use are legal skip trace, that sort of thing. So they're going to give us every number that we can. But if you start with PR phone 1 and dial through the tree, it's a pretty good certainty you're going to find that person.
Okay, so my next question would be, do we know whether they're on the do not call list, or should we check that prior to calling?
If they're the legal representative for it, that's a published piece of information in your county. And I'm not playing attorney, but that's a published piece of information. That's why it has to be published and why that data is there, and you're inquiring about that property. So you have the right to call them and ask them, but if you're concerned about that in your county, you probably ought to ask somebody. But they're the legal representative of that person. You have to have the ability to reach out to them.
Okay, good.
And then, do we get all of the listings at one time, or does there
That's someone asking a question?
The next question was, do the leads all come in at one time, or do they kind of come in a little bit?
No, you'll get them all from the time you sign up. Approximately 2 weeks, might be a little sooner, might be a little bit more. You'll get your first set of leads, and then after that, you should get them at approximately the same time every month. You know, it varies a little bit because of weekends, holidays, you know, and we have people doing it. Weather, yeah, thank you. Earthquake in California. We got shut down in one county for a couple of weeks one time. Another interesting aberration that I should mention this time of year, almost without fail, you know, you'll see 45, 46, 47 leads, and then all of a sudden in December you'll get 32. Well, I mean, do less people die over the holidays? No, the county clerks and personnel take more time off, so they don't get as many. Right. They don't get as many leads posted. And then without fail, you'll see about 70 in January when they all get back to work. So, yeah, they'll stay pretty consistent except for holidays. And you'll usually get every set of leads at about the same time every month after you get your initial set.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we are at exactly 30 minutes. I really appreciate our caller. I'm going to look at it. We had 4 questioners. It was just all the same person today, or 5. So I really thank you for that. And I take it you're still waiting for your first set of leads, right?
Well, we were just waiting to sign up.
Oh, well, that's even better. So hang up and do that, and then we'll be talking on the next call about how to take those leads that you should be getting. I really appreciate it, guys. Last call, if anybody wants to hit *6 and hit 1. Otherwise, we'll let you get back to work. Do my partners have anything they want to add as we close?
Nope.
I'm good.
Okay. Guys, I always end these calls, first of all, by thanking you for taking a half hour out of your life. I hope we provided enough value that it was worth your time. And I always end these calls by challenging you to take one thought, one inspirational thing you heard from Bill today, one idea, go out and implement it, and come back next Thursday and share your successes with us. Thank you much, Bill. Thank you all for showing up today. Make it a great week.